WTOL-TV, Toledo. Straight from the newsroom, this is Toledo 11 News.
Just another day on the job for a YMCA worker.
Until she came across this.
Were set up and students were painting welcome signs.
It wasn't quite the thrill of the open road, more like the parking lot of Perrysburg Commons.
It will make its debut on the
Just about the only event making news today.
2,000 carryout orders were handled.
Hey everyone, welcome to the WTOL 11 Vault. I'm Dan Cummins. Today we're cranking the time machine back to the days of Neon, Nickelodeon, and Nirvana. I'm talking about the 90s. We're revisiting some of Dick Barry's most legendary Daytrippin adventures, the stories that had all of us thinking, man, I want to go there. So grab your fanny pack, zip up that windbreaker, and dust off your Discman because we're day tripping through the 90s. Let's hit the road. Love the music. Yeah. I'm joined as always by my friend and colleague, fellow WTOL 11 anchor Jeff Smith. Jeff, our first stop takes us to 1995.
Can't wait. Dan, it was a year when dinosaurs ruled the box office, but also the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Dick Barry today, checking out the life-size Jurassic Park exhibit, and let's just say in the words of Jimmy Walker from Good Times, it was dynamite!
Dinosaurs have escaped from the captivity of the silver screen. They're everywhere you turn at the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Welcome to Jurassic Park, an exhibit where fact is separated from fiction.
The whole idea of cloning, probably not in our lifetime. I mean, no creature has actually been cloned, period.
The Dinosaur Society asked Jurassic Park director Steven Spielberg if he'd donate sets, props, and clips from his blockbuster hit for a traveling exhibit. Half the admission fee goes to the museum, the other half, the Dinosaur Society.
Almost all these things are actual props from the movie, and for those who remember the scene where Nedry was stealing the frozen embryos, this is one of the props from the movie. This would have been one of the cryo-preserve cylinders.
And how did Nedry smuggle the embryos out of Jurassic Park? In this Barbasol can, remember? And how about the dinosaur incubator? Well, that's here too. A film clip on a monitor reminds you of the scene.
Cute little guy, even though he could tear your guts out when he gets older.
And it's here you step into Jurassic Park's lush jungle world. That crunched Ford Explorer is still around. So are 8 dinosaur stars, including the ailing triple-horned Triceratops and her teary-eyed offspring. Oh, and while you're here, don't forget to stop by the Visitor Center.
And these played a big role in the end of the movie because folks are coming off of the balcony and climbing down on the vertebra of these dinosaurs, stair-like fashion, while the velociraptors were hot on their heels.
Now, a visit to Jurassic Park serves 2 purposes. Sure, it's neat because you feel like you're on a Hollywood set, but you're also going to learn a lot of stuff about the dinosaur era.
Natural history, whether it's studying dinosaurs or Ice Age mammals, is a very current and relevant subject. There's a lot that we're learning about the world by studying dinosaurs.
And what better way to do it by studying the biggest stars in Hollywood? Life-size, but without the bite.
So we're watching that. You and I were talking about pleated pants and how those have gone away.
Thank goodness. We all had pleated pants.
So buckle up for Blast Off. In August of '95, Dick Barry set his sights on the Red Planet.
Or at least the next best thing, a simulated mission to Mars at COSI in Columbus.
Please don't touch any of the buttons. Right this way, Commander.
So what would it be like to blast off on a mission to Mars? Well, you're about to find out.
Specialist, if you don't mind, I need you to step this way. In fact, I'd like you to start a brand new row right across the front, please.
Each crew member accepts a different assignment during the 50-minute adventure aboard Mars Base 1. a giant spacecraft simulator. Positions include engineers, biologists, geologists, and meteorologists.
Chief Meteorologist, I'm still waiting on that weather information. As soon as you have it, we'll be able to send our astronauts outside.
Mission to Mars is a hands-on learning experience for the young astronauts here who take part. The goal is to help them develop a stronger interest in math and in science.
Each one of these joysticks controls, we can literally create a problem for them to solve and do it all by remote control to really tie them and their partner up with for a good 15 to 20 minutes or so at a time. Any questions? I think he's okay. Number 1, you're in the airlock, sir. Good luck.
His job is to head out on the Martian surface and clean a dirty TV camera.
Right now we've got a great view from inside the main airlock. EVA-1 has just stepped out on the Martian surface. If you tell a child something, chances are that they'll forget it. But if they actually have the opportunity to do it, and by that I mean if they actually have the opportunity to do the science, then they understand it. Nice work, sir, and you look great outside too.
But outside, a Martian dust storm is kicking up. Our spacecraft is put on red alert.
Overhead workstation lights to conserve electrical power. Next, collect your personal effects. Push your stools underneath your science stations and move immediately to the command module.
We gotta get out of here. But if you want to find out how our trip to the Red Planet ends, better take a voyage down to COSI in Columbus.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. I could go for a stick of demons right now. I don't know why.
Well, he said he wanted adventure, and the Navy Blue Angels delivered like only they can. Dick Berry goes airborne for a 90s ride that you will never forget. That's next on The Vault.
Well, in 1996, Dick ditched the city lights, headed to the Wild West. At least the Irish Hills version of it.
So saddle up, partners. It's Law and Order Frontier style at the Stagecoach USA.
He's all done.
Law and order prevails at Stagecoach Stop USA in the Irish Hills. The good guy always wins. It's time traveling with a western flair at Frontier Village. Catch a cold one at the Longhorn Saloon, a burger from the Chuck Wagon Kitchen. Pan for gold out back, most likely fool's gold. And horses are available for trail riding. Stagecoach Stop USA is located along US 12. At one time, a real stagecoach stop.
It used to be called the Old Sauk Trail. First it was an Indian trail, and then when settlers moved in, it became a stagecoach route. There were stagecoach stops all along this route from Detroit to Chicago.
And one route inside Frontier Village takes you through Shady Junction. But shots are sure to ring out when the sheriff here runs into a squirrely character named Whiplash Willie.
You know what he did? He stole this property from a little old lady.
Stole it fair and square.
No, you didn't. You want to know what else he did?
Yeah!
I can't hear you.
Yeah!
He stole her dentures. You're a bad guy, stranger, and we don't want you hanging around town. Throw your gun down.
No.
Well, then what are you going to do?
You ready?
Make your move. Make your move. I won't. He's right over there laying on the ground. I'm just going to go bury him right now. Where did he go? Hold it right there. Drop your...
Well, it looks like you got it, Marshal.
Like we said, at Stagecoach Stop USA, the good guy always seems to win.
Wow, I had no idea that place even existed.
No, we never heard of it.
No, but Dick found it. This next one is legendary. In 1997, just 2 years later, Dick Berry got to fly with the Blue Angels.
That's right, an FA-18 Hornet, the roar of jet engines, and one brave reporter living every kid's Top Gun dream.
In the event that you're able to hear this first.
Pre-flight instructions from the Blue Angels. Got to learn those cockpit do's and don'ts. There are certain parts a civilian flyboy shouldn't touch on board an FA-18 Hornet.
The handle in between your legs is extremely off limits. That's the handle that initiates the ejection procedure.
A tight-fitting flight suit makes me feel like Chuck Yeager. How do you like that pose? All I need now is a stick of Beemans, and I think I got the right stuff.
I can feel a little tenseness in my body, but
once the high performance climb's over, you'll be good.
okay. Promise me that.
I promise you that.
That high-performance climb will be part of my 7.5 Jeep, 575-mile-an-hour flight. The pilot, Lieutenant Doug Verissimo, says if you survive that, everything else is a piece of cake.
Okay, sir, can you hear me?
For me, it's thumbs up. Or whatever. Time for takeoff. I'm not macho, arrogant, or cocky. Neither is a Blue Angels pilot on a runway or in the air.
You have to be aggressive to fly fighters in the Navy, but you have to temper that with a lot of intelligence and self-control, because if you just went off on your own program, you wouldn't live in this job very long.
Being a Blue Angels pilot is a dangerous, physically demanding job. The G-force can produce an unexpected momentary blackout. Even your sight is occasionally reduced to tunnel vision. That's where training comes in.
If you pull G's every day, it's like going to the gym every day. You build up the muscles, or your body adapts to the different situations, just like getting calluses on your hands if you're working as a mason or working with steel.
But that's the way it is when you work daily at an altitude of 15,000 feet. Me? I'm more down to earth.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. I could go for a stick of Beemans right now. I don't know why.
But I do know I'll never forget this once-in-a-lifetime high-flying magic carpet ride with the Blue Angels.
I wonder if he blew his lunch. That happens a lot.
What is Beemans?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. It's a apparently it's a chewing gum that tastes like black licorice.
Would you do something like that?
Oh, gosh, no.
I would like to think I would love to.
I had a panic attack on the Ferris wheel at Cedar Point.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a roller coaster guy. I don't like that kind of stuff. No. I don't like feeling like I'm plummeting to my death. But
so, Dick, thank you so much for taking us along for the ride without us having to go.
Whoa! Some boat just hit our dock here. Okay, take it easy, guys.
What could possibly go wrong when you send Dick Berry parasailing live on TV? Let's just say the boat wasn't the only thing that took a hit that day. We're taking you back to 1996 for one of the wildest live shots in WTOL history. Be right back.
Welcome back as we continue day tripping through the WTOL 11 vault. Here is where things get far out, man.
Dick Berry returns to Cleveland for a totally psychedelic look back at the sex, drugs, and rock and roll era. It's groovy, it's wild, and yeah, it's spelled with a Y.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If you were around between 1965 and 69, this was the psychedelic era. It was a time to turn on and tune out.
There were a couple of weeks, perhaps months, I don't remember all that well. But for the most part, I'm okay, yeah.
But the Hall of Fame's psychedelic exhibit will help you remember that tickets to Woodstock only cost $6, and John Lennon drove a Paisley Rolls-Royce. It was an amazing 4-year period of change in music, our country, and the way we thought.
Just a time of freedom, expressing what you really felt, not taking too many things too serious.
It was a time of experimentation, sort of a challenge to let your mind go free and express yourself.
And nobody represented that expression better than the Grateful Dead. A special light show staged in a circular theater takes us back 30 years to San Francisco's Summer of Love for a Dead show at the Fillmore. Look down on the floor, you're surrounded by names of premier bands from the era. Sopwith Camel, Moby Grape, Quicksilver Messenger Service. Who's your favorite psychedelic act?
Jimi Hendrix is a great guy.
Why'd you like him?
Well, nobody before or since can play like he did.
I'd got to be the Dead.
Jefferson Airplane.
Why's that?
I like Grace Slick. I like their sound.
Mickey Thomas, the lead singer of Jefferson Airplane at one time, just him bouncing back and forth from band to band just always grabbed my ear during that period.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Which stood for?
Yeah, LSD.
Now to the grand finale, an iconic WTOL 11 moment caught on tape.
July '96. Dick Berry goes parasailing live. Before liftoff, though, watch. A boater will crash into the dock on air. It's chaotic, hilarious, pure 90s Toledo TV gold. Don't want to miss this.
Well, this is Thursday, and traditionally Dick Berry goes day tripping during our 6 o'clock news, but tonight we thought we'd give you a sneak peek at tonight's adventure, and we do need a warning, especially for those of you who have children. Dick is wearing shorts.
Yep,
Richard?
Jared, this is the first day tripping this year where you're going to see my legs here. Don't they look great? Nice.
Stop.
And, nice and tan. Okay, listen, whoa! Some boat just hit our dock here. Okay, take it easy, guys. Hey, listen, let me tell you what we're doing. I've always wanted to do a live day tripping story, and so tonight we're out here at Maumee Bay State Park. At 6 o'clock, Jerry, I'm going to go parasailing live on the news channel. That's right, parasailing. Joe and Aaron are getting my parachute ready here, and we're going to go up. We're going to have a good time. We're probably going to go up maybe 300, 500 feet. I'm going to have a wireless microphone on. Joe's going to have one on down on the boat here, and we're just kind of chit-chat back and forth. And you know, I really wish you and Larry were out here right now because the weather is just perfect for this. And also over here at the resort area, boy, there's really a great party going on. I'd like to go over there and crash that maybe instead of parasail, but I don't know. We'll go parasailing at 6 on the news channel.
All right. Now, Dick, that boat that rammed the dock as you went on the air there where you are, did that appear to be intentional and directed at you?
I don't know. No. They almost did it again.
Are those people drunk?
Boy, I hope not.
What are they?
Are they? See you guys later, and Jerry, I'll see you at 6 o'clock tonight.
Are they driving the boat that you're parasailing from?
No, they're not.
Oh,
they're in another boat.
Okay, Dick, thanks. We'll be back at 6 o'clock. And our warning to our viewers, don't try that at home. Did you see that? They're attacking Dick out there for reasons we can't explain.
You've seen Dick Berry day trip to a lot of interesting places.
Tonight he's flying high without a net. Dick, what are you doing?
Chris, Jeff, right now I'm in the middle of Lake Erie, and I'm going to go parasailing live on TV. Let's go, Aaron. Oh, come on. Go. Take me back.
You just have to hand it to Dick Berry. He loves to take his show on the road.
Or on the water, as the case may be. Tonight's day tripping is a real high-flying adventure. Dick's at Maumee Bay State Park, or I guess we should say he's above it all. Dick, we can see you up there. What are you doing?
Oh, it's so comfortable right now, Chris. I'm parasailing. Hello there. You know, there's a lot of things you can do out here at Maumee Bay State Park. You can swim. They got a great restaurant, wonderful nature trail, and some great beaches. Really? But you know, you can also parasail. And let me click on my belt cam here, and I'll let you see what things look like up here. The guy who's towing me around right now above the Maumee Bay State Park is Joe Taylor. Joe, can you hear me?
Hey, pan over.
Joe, talk to me.
Yeah, I can't hardly hear you,
I can
Dick.
barely. There you go. Tell me all about parasailing. What's going on out here?
What does he want to know here?
Tell me about parasailing.
I can't hear him. Tell him about parasailing. Hey, right now you're at about 300 feet, Dick. You should be pretty good over Maumee Bay.
Yeah.
I imagine you can see the golf course there.
Yeah, the golf course looks great over there, and I see there's a couple of jet skis underneath me right now.
Yeah, those are people that are renting our jet skis right now.
Hey, tell me, you know, how far out can I go?
I got about 1,000 feet of line here, but so I can take you up higher if you're ready.
No, I don't want that. Listen, how high am I up right now? Tell me, how high am I?
You're about 300 feet.
About 300 feet. Okay, that's just fine. I understand some people like to come up here and maybe parasail naked.
That's been requested several occasions.
Did you accommodate them?
No.
Okay, I would imagine that
I would never admit to that.
Be kind of uncomfortable up here. What else? You know, people have wanted to get married up here before, I understand?
Yeah, we've had that request, but I can only fly 2 at a time. No room for a preacher.
Okay, and what if somebody wanted to get married naked?
I don't know. We could go out in the lake a ways and probably try it.
Okay, now tell me how much it costs to come out here and go parasailing.
Normal price for where you're at right now is $40 for 300 feet and $50 for a 500-foot ride. That's a 10 to 12-minute ride.
Hello there. Boy, it's a great view up here, too. There's a great party going on over there at the resort, too. A couple other things. Anybody can do it, right? No restrictions?
No. I've taken as young as 3 years old and as old as 88.
Joe, you keep looking up at me. What are you checking out?
I'm just making sure you're flying all right,
Okay.
not coming down.
Have you ever lost anyone? That's what I'm concerned about now.
What do you mean by lost?
Well, kind of like, you know, the cable snaps and they end up in Port Clinton.
No. No,
Okay.
this is the safest way to do it. I've never had anybody injured at all.
Okay.
And,
Joe Taylor, thanks a lot. I think my time's up here. You know, Jeff and Chris, this is really relaxing, kind of windy, nice and peaceful and quiet. I could really go for a cigar right now and maybe a glass of port. Back to you guys.
Dick, we can just see your shadow up there. How do we know it's really you?
Let me click my feet together twice. See that?
Okay, there
now,
you
get
go.
me down, okay?
Yeah, his 2.5 minutes is up. Thank you very much, Dick Berry, on Adventure tonight.
That was great.
Live TV.
I didn't know we had the technology back
Right,
then. For the wireless microphone to get that far away.
I'm so blown away by how clear it is, too.
Yeah.
You think about the wind up there. Well, from dinosaurs to dive-bombing boats, Dick Berry's Daytrippin took us to every corner of the 90s, and what a ride it has been.
That's all for this edition of the WTOL 11 Vault. If you grew up with us, thanks for taking the trip down memory lane. If you're new here, well, no, now you know about the 90s, all that's a bag of chips.
For Dan Cummins, I'm Jeff Smith. Have a good one.